Hello Internet, it's me Josh, the Aging Gamer. So, E3 has come and gone, and we've seen a lot of interesting stuff. And, well, I want to talk about it. Since it's nearly impossible to talk about everything that was announced at E3, and to do things in a timely manner, I made a list of my top 25 things I want to talk about that happened at E3. There were some ups, there were some downs, there were some... what? But let's go ahead and talk about this in no specific order. Let's go! Number 25. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. Honestly, I was never the biggest Final Fantasy VIII fan. I didn't really care for the junction mechanic, and I hate that I had to draw magic from enemies. I must have some mild OCD or something because I would draw magic from enemies until I was maxed out in magic. The thought of actually using magic terrified me because that would mean I'd have to draw more magic later on. Ugh! However, I am looking forward to this re-release, and I plan on giving it another shot since I never actually got past the first disc. Number 24. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order trailer. Fallen Order was announced at last year's E3, and now we got another look at this game. All the hoopla with the EA licensing and all the hoopla with the latest Star Wars movies have kind of killed my buzz on anything Star Wars related. But a single-player, story-driven Star Wars game where you get to star as a Jedi and do all the cool Jedi stuff is admittedly pretty badass. I probably won't get this game right away, but I'll be keeping my eye on it. Number 23. Doom Eternal's Battle Mode. Doom Eternal looks epic, my god! So we got the typical single-player story, but we also got a multiplayer mode called Battle Mode. Take control of demons and do your best to take out a Doomslayer. That's pretty freaking awesome. Number 22. Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk 2077. I don't know much about Cyberpunk 2077 as I never played the first 2076, but Keanu Reeves making an appearance is pretty badass, as Mr. John Wick himself is pretty badass. Number 21. Death Stranding gameplay. Daryl Dixon and fetuses fighting ghosts in the mountains? That's unique. The game looks interesting to say the least, and while I'm getting ideas in my head on what the story is, I really have no idea what the hell is going on. Number 20. Luigi's Mansion trailer. So, I haven't really spent that much time with any of the Luigi's Mansion games, but this trailer kinda got me interested, mostly because Luigi just beats the shit out of ghosts. Whoa, take it easy. Luigi's Mansion 3 releases sometime this year. Number 19. Corpse Killer Remastered. Oh god, I know nobody's gonna care about this, but like Night Trap, I love these over-the-top cheesy FMV video games. They're so cheesy and I love it to death. I've never actually played Corpse Killer myself, but I will when it releases next month. Number 18. Grandia 1 and 2 remakes. This was actually announced sometime last year, but Gung Ho, who is reworking the game, waited until E3 to give us more info. The collection will be a Switch and PC exclusive, there will be no physical version of the game, both games will be sold as a single game, and the release date is said to be very soon. I remember playing and loving Grandia 2 back on the Dreamcast, and I'm very much looking forward to playing this again. Hopefully, very soon. Number 17. Dragon Quest and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's been rumored forever that Dragon Quest would be involved with the next newcomer for Smash Ultimate. Personally speaking, I'm not that familiar with the series, so it's hard for me to get excited. Also, I don't know, the character, hero, doesn't look that exciting to play as. He seems to be the very definition of generic anime swordsman. Whatever though, I'm not hating on the series, I think it's cool for Dragon Quest fans, and to be honest, I think the roster is already perfect and any other character they add to the series is just the cherry on top of an already delicious sundae. Still, fingers are crossed for Ryo Hayabusa though. Number 16. New Super Lucky's Tale for the Nintendo Switch. What makes this release so interesting is that this is yet another Microsoft exclusive that is making their way to the Nintendo Switch. We got Cuphead on the Switch, we got a Microsoft character in Smash, which we'll get to later, and it just seems so fascinating that Microsoft and Nintendo are working with each other. I doubt we'll see the likes of Halo or Gears of War on Nintendo consoles, but can we at least get Rare Replay on the Switch now? Or how about Game Pass? Number 15. No More Heroes 3 announced. Suda51 has been hinting towards a No More Heroes 3 announcement for a while, so I'm glad to see it finally announced. The first two No More Hero games were pretty fun. Travis Strikes Back, on the other hand, let's just say I still have that game sitting unfinished on my shelf. No More Heroes 3 better be held at a higher standard during development. Number 14. Third-party Nintendo Switch support. You like older third-party games for the Switch? Well, good news. The likes of the Spyro the Dragon trilogy, Aliens Isolation, The Last Remnant, Resident Evil 5 and 6, DC Universe Online, and the frickin' Witcher 3 are all making their way to the Nintendo Switch later this year. Number 13. The TurboGrafx 16 Mini! Since Konami owns Hudson Soft and all its operations, they are actually the ones responsible for this Mini being released. 6 titles have already been announced, like Ninja Spirit, New Adventure Island, and R-Type. The Mini will include save states, different display options, and even have up to 5-person multiplayer. I never had or even played with the TurboGrafx 16, so my knowledge on it is pretty limited, but that's exactly why I'm interested in this. Hopefully we can see some more popular heavy-hitter titles on the Mini, like Castlevania Rondo of Blood, Bomberman, Bonk's Adventure, Alien Crush, Splatterhouse, and Legendary Axe. This Mini will release eventually. Number 12. Marvel's Avengers official trailer. This game was announced at last year's E3, and we finally got some footage. And it looks... yeesh. So it appears that every hero is based off their movie counterparts. However, I'm assuming due to licensing issues, they couldn't make them actually look like the actors who portrayed those characters. So instead, we got some off-brand looking Avengers. The thing is, I like the MCU movies just fine, but I want to see the movie universe stick to the movies. I want my Marvel games to have a more comic book feel. Speaking of which, number 11. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3's DLC announced. Not only did we get an awesome new trailer showing off some cool characters, but we got an announcement of DLC planned, taking characters from Marvel Knights, X-Men, and the Fantastic Four. Usually I get pretty mad when DLC is shown before the game is even released, but the Marvel Universe is so freaking huge, I can't blame them for having to do DLC. I'm down for this. I'm so ready for this game to come out, which is July 19th, exclusively on the Nintendo Switch. Number 10. Trials of Mana announced. Trials of Mana is a remake of the Japanese Super Famicom game of the same name. If you like the Mana series, well, here's another game. Collection of Mana is also available now. It's got the original Trial of Mana, fully translated, Secret of Mana, and one of my favorite games of all time, Final Fantasy Adventure, which, yeah, is actually a Mana game, not Final Fantasy. Cool beans! Number 9. Panzer Dragoon Remake. Speaking of remakes, here's another classic, Panzer Dragoon. I'm mildly hyped for this game. I remember playing this at a buddy's house back in the day, and it was pretty dang fun. Does it still hold up today, though? Well, we'll find out when it re-releases by the end of this year for the Nintendo Switch. Number 8. Contra Rogue Corps announced. Another old-school franchise makes an appearance here. Contra now returns, and not in the way you think. Known for its balls-to-the-walls 2D pew-pew-pew action, Rogue Corps has taken a new approach to its gameplay style. Is this Contra in name only? Could work, could not. I'm not fully invested yet, but I'm keeping my eyes on this one. It's to be released by the end of the year on every damn console. Number 7. Battletoads returns. Is this a sequel, a remake, a reboot? I don't know, but what I do know is that Battletoads is a 3-player couch co-op multiplayer coming out this year for the Xbox One. I'm honestly not that impressed with what I'm looking at. What little gameplay they show looks kinda boring. Battletoads is known for being a difficult yet creative platformer, but this looks more like a boring beat-em-up. The visuals also look like Battletoads is ripping off Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Again. And wait, was that supposed to be the Dark Queen? Why does she look like that? She's supposed to be a sexy bitch. Gah! Number 6. Animal Crossing New Horizons trailer. I sure do love me some Animal Crossing. In the real world, if I could go live with talking animals and shake trees for money, I totally would. But I can't, so luckily we got New Horizons coming out next year. It looks pretty great, though it doesn't look like there's any major gameplay changes. That's fine, I suppose. I just hope we get a lot of animal neighbors on this island this time. Like, a lot. I want at least 30. Number 5. Link's Awakening Dungeon Maker. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is a wonderful, fantastic, must-play title for the Game Boy. It's truly one of my favorites. I was hoping that Nintendo would beef up this remake, and wow, they did it in a way that I totally didn't expect. A dungeon editor maker thing? That's awesome! Hopefully this is the first step into a full Zelda Maker game. I'm hyped even more than I was before, and it comes out in just a couple of months, September 20th to be exact. Number 4, Project Scarlett announced. What's better than the Xbox One? Project Scarlett apparently. The next-gen console by Microsoft is due holiday season 2020. The big focus on this console is, you guessed it, power. They want no load times. Like, they talk about no load times a lot. Microsoft is designing their own chip to make a much more powerful console, and I suppose that's pretty cool. But personally speaking, I don't care about power on consoles. I care about games. A game can look like a live-action movie, but if it plays like crap, what did you really accomplish? I don't know much about the development scene, but can third-party developers even afford to make big, powerful games on the systems on their own? I mean, Street Fighter V was only made because Sony backed them up. Same thing with Bayonetta 2 and Nintendo. And what good is having a big, powerful console when most indie games, which seems to be the biggest supporters of consoles right now, use pixels? I guess my point is, I feel like the current gen consoles we already have aren't used to their full potential yet. Maybe it's just me, but when I look at my PS4 and my Switch, I don't think about all the things they can and cannot do. I judge my system by what games are on there, and none of my favorite games on these systems I feel can be improved by a more powerful console. All in all, I suppose if any hardware developer needs a new console, it's gotta be Microsoft. At the moment, my hype level is very low, but here's hoping that by the time Project Scarlett is released, we got some more info on it that's really just gonna knock your socks off. Number 3. Banjo-Kazooie and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Banjo and Kazooie are coming out this fall for Smash Ultimate. They look like fun characters to play as, and well, it's Banjo-Kazooie. What else is there to really say? They fit right on in with the Smash universe, and it's kind of refreshing to see a new character that is just so not boring looking or devoid of character. I'm stoked. How are the final 2 mystery newcomers for Smash going to compare with this? Number 2. Final Fantasy VII Remake release date. My god, we didn't hear anything on this game for years! It was announced back in 2015, and development was so quiet on this, people were starting to think that it was secretly cancelled. Well, it's not, and it looks amazing. I'm still skeptical on the gameplay mechanics, but this is Square Enix we're talking about. I'm going to be mostly watching it anyway. We finally see Tifa and Sephiroth and a whole bunch more. It's releasing March 3rd, 2020. It'll have a pre-order bonus, a deluxe edition, and even a first-class ultra deluxe edition. I wouldn't expect anything less from Square Enix. The best part is this game is coming out in less than a year's time. And my number 1? Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. Breath of the Wild is probably my favorite current-gen game. It's just got so much content and it's so much fun. It's crafty and beautiful and just a fantastic game. How does Nintendo follow that up? By making a direct sequel. It looks like they're using the same engine and graphics, so hopefully that cuts down development time by a lot and gives us a quicker release date. In the trailer, not much was really shown other than Zelda got a haircut and it looks like Ganondorf is resurrected. That's all it took to win me over. My god, I want to play this game now! So that was my list of the most noteworthy and interesting and fun things to talk about that happened at E3. Overall, I feel like E3 was pretty good. I mean, all the companies had a lot of good stuff to show, and 2019, it looks like a really good year for games. Like, I can't even afford it. Like, there's no way. But, what did you guys think of it? What was your favorite announcement that happened at E3? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, like it. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. And till next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.